Welcome to the MTR Network. It is time for Supergirl Super Tuesday. I am one of your hosts, Shanna, and I am here with the doctor. And we are here to talk about season 2, episode 3?
Three? Yeah,
Yeah.
three.
Welcome to Earth.
I'm sorry, when I hear that title, it just hit me. That's what Will Smith says to the alien in Independence Day.
Oh,
Remember when he knocks him out
yes.
after the firefight?
That's actually one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
When he's dragging the alien and he's like, "What is that smell?" That is my favorite. That's a classic film. I watched that movie way too much. I could probably quote it.
I know, me too.
Okay. So
Sorry, I'm sorry about that. My son's leaving. I had to remind him to lock the door behind him. Sorry about that. Now you're
so
like, what is all this kissing and clicking in the background?
oh, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry,
Uh,
listeners.
so what did you think of the episode?
I enjoyed it, but I own also that I'm biased because it has Linda Carter, and I will never not like anything she does or is in. There were a few points where I was calling shenanigans, but I loved seeing her. I loved the homage to Wonder Woman. I loved the introduction of Maggie Sawyer.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, Maggie is bae. And I was like, okay, so can we kill Alex now? Now that we have Maggie? Can we do that? Is
I'm
that a
pretty
thing
sure that
that we
they're
can
gonna
do?
make them date instead of killing her off. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna kiss instead.
Can it be on her deathbed? Can we do that? And I really like the introduction of Miss Martian.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
so. I'm really, I don't want to say surprised, but I'm really surprised at the pace.
You mean
There's
at the
not another word
pace?
at the pacing of how they're introducing all the new characters. I mean, these were all of the people that they kind of announced have been cast for this
Hmm.
season, and we're on episode 3, and all of them have been introduced at this point.
I know. They're
Um,
just they're on it. They're like,
yeah,
we are, look, our wings have been untied, unclipped. We are free. Let's do this.
yeah, and I think Chris and Deepam talked about this on their both on the Legends of Tomorrow and on the Shield recaps. The thing about these shows is that they are at their best kind of when the pacing is almost crazy fast.
Yeah, almost like a breakneck speed,
Yeah,
really.
and they're just introducing things back to back to back, and I'm not mad at it. I think it's keeping everything energized. I do think because of that, some of the other things are developing maybe too quickly or aren't given enough time with some of the older characters. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Do you feel like
my weekly Jimmy complaint.
I was gonna say, do you feel like they're being like set aside,
Not
or
set aside. I think they're still being given things to do, but just superficially.
hmm.
Um, So I guess we can get into the episode. Let's start with the main plot. So Kara is protecting the president who is in town to sign this Alien Amnesty Act. Um, and the Alien Amnesty Act is supposed to allow aliens to come forward and declare who they are and to do so without fear of repercussions. But as John Jones quickly points out, not all aliens are good, and not all of them are. Some of them are coming. Some of them are hiding
For
their
not good
agendas
reasons? Yeah.
for not good reasons. Yeah. so, um, so it becomes this thing of, these aliens can they be trusted? Even if they are allowed to say their identities, will humans accept them? Because that's the thing too, is like, you can say there won't be any legal repercussions for coming forward, but that doesn't mean people are going to accept who you are. So that's
Right.
the whole tension of the episode is. And on top of it, there's this alien who is attacking the president, because they don't want her to sign this Alien Amnesty Act.
Well, and it's interesting the reason behind it because Red Hot, which is the worst name,
I
but we'll get
thought
back to it. We'll come back around to that.
yeah.
Um, she made a good point. I felt like she was the Magneto of the DC universe for Supergirl right here because she was like, that's just one step from registration. And for her, it wasn't even about she didn't want to be free to be open. She was just like, no, that's a tracking measure, and I'm not trying to be tracked,
I
not
mean,
by the government.
it
And she's
is
not. She's kind
true.
of not
Yeah.
wrong.
It's the same argument every single time. It's the Civil War argument. It's the, X-Men argument. You know, tracking or registering is one step away from, and then who controls that information, who is
Hmm.
in charge of it, like what does that mean in terms of what is demanded of me, or if I can be rounded up and put away. So she's not wrong. This is really what it always amounts to.
Yeah.
I didn't mind her name. Let's be honest, like, if you start looking at some of these DC, especially because some of these characters were created so long ago, most of these names, both the superheroes and the villains, are horrible. Like, what's on Flash, Mirror Master?
Hmm.
These are horrible names. none of these villain names are
Well,
great.
you know what it is? I think I can swallow the names better as Cisco names them, even if they're bad. Because there's just something in the gleeful way in which he names them that I'm like, I'm here for that name. But when it's not Cisco naming them, I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
Except for this week's Flash, and we saw that in the promo, so I'm not spoiling anything when Harrison got the drop on naming Mirror Master, and Cisco was so offended.
I mean, it's just I'm just like, all of these names are so bad and comic booky. I like that they embrace how bad and comic booky it is by just keeping the name instead of trying to like
Yeah.
come up with like something more up to date or cool, because there's just no way to get around it. Like
Mm-hmm.
like, what else do you call like a chick who shoots fireballs red hot? Like, I guess this is what we're going with. Can't
Yeah,
be
especially
helped.
since you already have a firestorm. So
Yeah. Yeah, all the cool names for fire tossing heroes are already taken. So the so that's like the whole big thing. I really like the fight scenes. I like that the
mm-hmm.
big fight scene this week involved all women.
Yes.
I really appreciated also that Alex did not have on that big chunky suit, that
Oh, thank
kryptonite
God.
suit, because it just makes her look really stiff. And like, I need, if they're gonna have her have some sort of super suit, I just need it to be a little bit more streamlined.
We need
So
Cisco to come visit.
yeah, Cisco to come from Earth 2 or Earth 1 and design a new super suit for her. Can't
Yeah.
Win work on that? Like,
Well, we saw Wynn's work with the modified Kryptonian suits
yeah,
that
true.
yeah, Wynn got some
When,
work to
yeah,
do.
he does not have the same skills.
Finesse.
Yeah, the same finesse, the detailing that
Yeah.
Cisco has. Maybe that's really what they should think about in the crossover. How can we get Cisco to streamline some of these outfits? Because I feel like Cisco's lightweight, also like a fashion designer, like he's on Project Runway or something. Because these suits, like, he's all like the design and the detailing, and we gotta make sure the borders are just right. Like, it's a little too professional. I feel like Cisco also took some like sewing classes at some point. He was really good in home ec. Um, What I found the most interesting about this is, so we meet Maggie Sawyer, who
Who is
is,
Bay? I
yeah, she's
love her.
awesome. She's like this detective who actually detects, which
Yes.
is great. We so rarely get that in any of these like they'll be like, so and so is a detective, and then we watch like for an hour and they can't figure out anything or where anybody
Mm-hmm.
is. And she figured it out. Like, she didn't need like Win and a whole like DEO agency full of like super geeks on computers to figure it out. Apparently she just followed some clues and made it there before them.
Mm-hmm.
I
And made
appreciate her.
connections and
Yeah.
worked the streets. And she did what a detective is supposed to
Yeah,
do.
talk to her contacts. Like, I really enjoyed her. I thought she was like really cool, really like badass. Had a totally different perspective. And she introduced us to what I hope is a permanent new set piece, the Alien Bar.
And you know what it reminded me of? Did you watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yes, of
You
course.
remember how they had the vampire bar? Well, it was kind of like the demon bar.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yes, I was like, we need this, especially because I like that the whole theme of the episode was basically it. Kara and John aren't the only two aliens, and not all aliens are just here to invade and to be rounded up. And you need something like an alien bar to really illustrate that. You need
Because
to have them interact with aliens who aren't all hostile.
Right, because otherwise what you wind up having happen is the only way, because this is what happened last season. The only way we met new aliens was when they were threats or if they were the targets of other threats. And
Mm-hmm.
you need and that's going to get old quick. You need a more multidimensional way of introducing these folks and
Yeah.
talking about where they're from and how they got here. And, they're here. They've been here for a while. They've been here for decades. Some of them, well, I can't make that assumption. Some of them have probably just got here. Some of them have been here for years, and they're just chilling in the cut, minding their own business. Maybe they're all stranded, but they're like, it's cool here.
Yeah, because didn't we have that whole story last year where there were all those aliens who had come on the what is
Fort
it,
Ross, the
for Ross?
prison, from the
Yeah,
prison.
the
Yeah.
prisoners, but like some of them were perfectly like fine and harmless and had kind of reinvented their lives or whatever.
Like, wasn't one a professor or an accountant or
Yeah, like
something? He was
just
just
like,
minding his own
yeah, just
business.
regular people basically. So I really, but and for those aliens, they still kind of rounded them up because like they were originally prisoners. But like these guys, like, everybody's just chilling, just living their lives. Apparently Maggie's out here dating aliens on the reg.
Which
Like,
I thought was hilarious.
I was just like, oh, is that where we are? Like, we just date aliens? Like, we're that cool? Like, I understand, like, aliens are my friends. Like, this is my homegirl. I've known her for years. But, like, she was just like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend who is an alien, and that's just how I get down. I was like, oh. And when Red Hot called her an alien groupie, I was like, she's not wrong. But yeah, I really like Maggie. Okay, so that brings me to my other favorite thing about Maggie, and John did the same. They brought up not just the alien thing, but the race and the LGBT thing.
Girl, I have that quote right here. And the immigrant thing.
Yes.
The issues around immigrants. But John, girl, I was because I was out of town. So the first time I watched it, and I was so glad that I was in a small town and we got done with dinner early. And I'm like, yes. Went to my hotel room, got in my pajamas, like, yeah. But that quote, he was like, we can look like them, we can blend in, but most can't. And people in this world don't have much tolerance for others who don't look like them. I say that as an alien and as someone who has worn the face of a black man for 15 years. I was like, preach, John, preach.
Yes. And
Preach.
then Maggie was like, as a Latina and a lesbian in a small town, like, yeah, I identify with aliens more than I do with humans.
Right.
I was like, okay,
They
okay.
dropping all the messages.
I know it was like message, like we just, this is where we're at, Supergirl. We're gonna take it a level deeper because we talked about this a lot last season. Like before a lot of his lines he would say the alien thing. Like he'd be like, people aren't very welcoming of aliens, and then
Hmm.
we would be like, and black men, because you're also disguised as a black man. Like, like we would make that connection
And
because,
even Jamie would touch on it, but
yeah,
Hank never did.
Hank never did. And now to see, and I think this is like something that some people were like, like Luke Cage is like preachy or whatever. And I wonder if they were maybe afraid of that. I'm okay with you making the metaphor explicit.
There's that. I'm also okay. Excuse me. I'm also okay with it because most of the audience that is watching this or that it's targeted towards needs to hear it.
Yeah, it's like
They need to hear it.
I like for me, for us last season, we immediately got like, oh, he's talking about being an alien, but that's also a metaphor, for being a person of color. Like, we immediately got that connection. I'm
Hmm.
okay with the show saying, hey, maybe y'all didn't get that connection. Let's make it very clear that
Hmm.
these are the concepts that we are connecting here. And I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. That's perfectly fine to me.
Me too.
Yeah, like some people need it. Some people need that said outright. And I'm okay.
And then
Um,
we have the cognitive dissonance that is Kara's entire existence. I adore her, but she, oh yes, this is xenophobic, and then turns around and becomes a xenophobe. Like, yeah,
yeah.
because it don't apply to you.
Well, that's what's also so interesting. I love that Red Hot said to her. She's like, "You keep your identity secret because humans can't be trusted," and I get where Kara's like, "No, I keep my identity a secret because of criminals." It's like yes and no. Like yes, you don't want, it's just like, the same reason the Flash or, Arrow, anybody, because you don't want, because you're out here fighting people and you don't want the people close to you, your loved ones, to be like used against you in some way. So that's
Hmm.
part of it. But like, let's be real. You also, as an alien, can't be sure that like you're not going to go around telling Snapper Carr your secret
Right.
identity
Right.
because you don't know if he'll publish that or if he'll try like he could you don't know what he could do with that information or if you could lose your job or anything else. It's like anything else, like not to make another analogy, but like if you're gay, like there's reasons that some people don't come out at work
Hmm.
versus coming out in their personal life. If there's something about you that isn't visible, that you think people might not accept, you hide it.
Hmm.
And so for her to say like I keep my identity secret because of criminals, like yeah, but like she wasn't completely wrong either. You also hide your identity from humans because humans ain't shit. Like,
Say that again.
if any of you who are watching Westworld know that humans ain't shit in any time, in any place, in the near future, in the far future, in the past,
Look,
humans
any
ain't
of
shit.
you that are listening that have any level of self-awareness knows humans ain't shit. Come on now. Come
Like,
on.
lately I have been wondering about our humanity and our continued existence, but that's just
We're
me.
on borrowed time. What you talking about?
But yeah, like I really appreciate, you can say what you want about these villains. What I always appreciate is the fact that, Magneto has a point. His
Hmm.
way of going about things, may not be the greatest, but he has a point. And Red Hot had all the points. She was spitting hot fire, literally and figuratively.
Okay, so here's the thing. The only thing I didn't like about her was her name. The rest of it was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she was
I mean,
on
her
it.
points, her powers, the logic behind what she was doing, that was on point. I just had an issue with her name, and that's minor.
Yeah, like I think she's one of the better villains of the week that we've had.
Hmm.
I just really enjoyed everything she had to say. I think she gave everybody some food for thought.
Yeah.
Um,
What I will say, I wanted to throw something else in there. When I was talking about the cognitive dissonance, I was talking about that piece too, but also how Kara was reacting to Mon-El once she
yes.
found out his home planet. Oh, he's a Daxamite. I'm like, okay, see, it sounds like you're using the N word a little too strongly there, sis. I want you to dial that all the way back and calm it down, and not the N word with the A, the one with the ER.
Yeah.
Slow your roll. I want to don't make me not like you. Calm down.
Well, it's so interesting because we talked about how Kara has more memories than Clark does because she was in her teens when everything went down on Krypton.
Hmm.
And so she remembers the rivalries, and when they say an alien, she doesn't necessarily have to go look it up. Like, she's interacted with some of these aliens before, some of these different species. Um, so this was kind of the first time we saw her just like outright be like,
A
oh
bigot.
yeah, a bigot.
Let's
Um,
keep it real.
But it's so funny, like when you see the scene at the end where she tells him what happened to his planet. And I was just like, okay, wait, but you know what happened to his planet, not because of anything anyone on his planet did, but because of what your planet did. Because we've already established that the whole reason Krypton like blew up was because the Kryptonians basically overused the resources on their planet and caused their planet to die.
Hmm.
So your planet dies, debris from your planet turns his planet into a wasteland, but you have the audacity to say his name like that, like he one of them. It's like, y'all destroyed his planet just on some accident.
Sound familiar?
Like, but God forbid, but back in the day we used to have beef, so like,
Like I said, sound familiar.
yeah,
Did that
yeah.
sound like some Republican type troll logic? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like when she got to the end, like I understand when she said Hatfields and McCoys, I was like, oh, okay, they got beef from way back. They probably don't even know how it started, that kind of thing. But then when she told him about how his planet died, I was like, wait, you know this information and you're still holding a grudge based on nothing? How dare you? Like, that's really rude. That was what got me. I was like, wait, you're holding a grudge. And you know that your planet destroyed his planet. Okay, Kara.
um,
But sounds
I
about
think,
right for her.
yeah, yeah. But I liked his intro. I liked how they brought him in, and oh, he had some great lines too. It was just something so small because he was like, "You were sending a distress signal." He was like, "Yeah, why were you sending a distress signal?" Because I was in distress.
I'm distressed right now.
I'm like,
Right
what the
now.
hell you think I'm sending a distress signal for, you dumb lady?
Well,
Stop asking me
I
questions.
liked how they set up, because usually I don't watch the previews, but I did watch the previews last week, and I like
Mm.
how they set it up as him being the bad guy, like, and I love that he wasn't. I
Mm-hmm.
just thought it, like, every week, first of all, this is probably the, like, most drawn out of a storyline we've had on
Yeah.
this show so far this season, and we have gotten only like a few minutes each week with it. And I'm really enjoying how they're slowly developing his character, and they've set him up very ominously in every single episode to be like this bad guy, and like something bad is gonna happen with Mon-El. And then he's just like, frightened at first,
And
and
confused, yeah.
confused, and then distressed and sending his distress signal, and then he's just basically sitting there like, so y'all gonna let me out of here anytime soon? Because I haven't really done anything.
Oh, and then he was like, well, if I gotta be here, can I at least get a drink or something?
Yeah. Like, like Netflix or something up in here. Isn't that what Max Laura asked for? Was it Netflix?
Yes.
He's like the other dude got Netflix. I can't even get Netflix. Like, they're like, how do you know about Netflix? Everybody knows about Netflix.
It's the only thing your planet is worth coming here for.
He's like, that's the first thing I learned. I tried to send out a distress signal, and I signed up for a subscription. Those are all
In
the
that
things I
order.
did. Exactly. But yeah, I really like how they set this up, and they're not. This is the kind of thing where I'm like, I enjoy this slow development. We are learning about this new character slowly. He's not a one-off. They're setting him up to be more than just like a one-off villain. I really appreciate it. I also, with the introduction of Miss Martian McGann, I'm hoping they'll do something similar. Like, I was not expecting to see her in the alien bar at all.
And for a minute, because I know I was watching live with Joseph and a couple other people in the group, um, when Red Hot bumped into, it was Alex or Maggie, and she said, excuse you. At first, I thought that was Miss Martian because the voice sounded like Sharon Leal's.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until we got later into the episode that I was like, oh no, that's not her.
Well, like the minute
The
I saw her, I was kind of like, "Oh, we're doing this. Like, this is
mm-hmm.
this is happening already." Okay, and I was just like, they did it so subtly, and obviously we're slightly spoiled because of the way casting gets announced and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew exactly who she was going to be the minute I saw her, but I really appreciated that she was just in the background,
Mm-hmm.
just like quietly in the background serving drinks,
Living
and
her
yeah,
life.
just like being her. Um, the president is the one who basically pushes John Jones to go out and live, which I think is really good too, because we talked about wanting more development for Hank, and they have given him more development, more character development, but it's always been in the context of the DEO
And the girls, yeah.
and the girls. And so I appreciate that someone's telling him, like, it's almost like somebody was like, go have your own storyline. Like,
Mm-hmm.
live your
Yes.
life.
Yeah,
Go.
and I mean, I thought it was just so cute that you could tell he was hesitant and he was still unsure. And then folks are walking past him. He's like, and then because that was him growling when the one alien walked past because he
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a threat. And he was like, oh, and you could see in his face, like, wait, I'm okay here. We're cool here. But then there was that moment of uncertainty when she reacted to him. He's like, well, I can change back. And it was like, no, baby, no. Be you. Be free.
Well, I like that he needs to go off and have his own storyline, but he, similar to Alex and similar to Kara, needs to stop seeing aliens as threats as well. Because
Or
even
is it
though
just,
he is
I'm
one,
sorry.
he tends to see them in the context of his job.
There's that, but he also has to stop this one-dimensional view of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's weird again because to me it's the same way about like Alex being like, I have to stop seeing them as just threats, and it's like, well, but I understand that a lot of times you are capturing hostile aliens, but two really good aliens. Like, why? does this
Well,
kind of need to be told to you? And it's the same way with John. It's like, you know, not all aliens are bad. You're not bad. Like,
no, you got it wrong. Alex knows three good aliens.
oh yeah, Clark too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's really no reason for her.
but I mean, but even more so for John, because it's like, you are alien. You are the good alien. And you know that there are other ones out there. Like, I don't, I
But
just,
I kind of get John's point though. I mean, he knows his intentions, but he also knows the intentions. His planet was destroyed
hmm
by other aliens, so
yeah,
I can kind of get, and by people from the way they talked about it last season, they kind of welcomed trustingly. So I get
yeah,
his distrust. I get him. I don't get Alex.
yeah,
But then again, I did just say that can we call Alex and keep Maggie? So I
yeah,
might be biased. I might be biased, just a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. I know you really don't like that
Hashtag kill Alex. And not in the hated in the nation Black Mirror kind of way.
girl.
But that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Anyway, let's move on.
um. So yeah, so they introduce Miss Martian. John has like his moment at the bar when he's like, "Hey, who are you? You clearly recognize me. Do I know you?" And then she tries to be like, nah, and my shift is over, so so and so gonna take care of you. See you later. Because that wasn't suspicious at all.
Right?
I
Like,
was like,
dang.
I was like,
And you should
girl.
have a little bit more finesse about it, honey.
Yeah, I was
Just a
like,
little
girl, come
bit.
on, girl. Um, so she runs out, and he's all like, "Who are you?" And just from the minute she started transforming, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome."
Hmm.
What I will say I was a little disappointed about was when she turns around and she starts talking. That voice is very teenaged sounding.
Well, McGann is a teenager, but yeah, she's mass. But I
Yeah,
kind
I'm like,
of
but
like it because
she's
McGann
masquerading
herself.
as a grown ass woman. That is a
But doesn't
grown ass black woman. Like, I know black don't crack, but Sharon Leo is clearly a grown ass black woman.
right? But I think that's why I like it because why would you? I don't know. For me, the best cover is the one that is not the easiest to see through. And not to say that him seeing her as a teenager will automatically think, oh, if she's an alien, she might be one of my people. But if someone is tracking you and they're looking for a teenage girl, what better way to masquerade yourself than as someone older
Yeah. No,
to throw them off the scent?
I totally understand that, but I was just kind of like, I was not like, I was thinking when she was going to change, we're going to have like the way we hear Hank as John Jones, where it's clearly the voice of David Harewood, but slightly augmented. I thought we were going to get something similar, like Sharon Leo's voice slightly augmented. I was like, what child's voice just came out of her
Oh,
mouth?
no, no, no. That was her voice. They augmented it so that she would sound like a teenager, but that
Yeah.
was Sharon Leo's voice.
Okay. Because to me, I was like, who's voicing this? I was like, I was like, what teen did they get in here
Well,
to do the voice?
okay, now I just put that out there because in my mind it sounded like Sharon Leo, but we just acknowledged that I thought that Red Hot sounded like Sharon Leo. So let me go look this up in case I'm wrong.
I was like, I do not like. I'm not gonna place money on that being the same person. Um,
Okay, let's see. Sharon Leo, McGann, Miss Martian, Snapper Carr, Shauna Darla, young girl. Yeah, it was a little girl that was sitting there. No, it was her voice.
okay, all right,
Yeah, they
okay,
just augmented her voice to sound younger.
all right. I believe you. I guess black don't crack. Like that's the voice too. Black don't crack. So let's get probably the thing that I didn't like so much was Snapper Carr and Jimmy and that whole situation.
Another allegory on life.
Okay, so I will admit to give Snapper just like slight benefit of the doubt. Jimmy, for real, you cannot be coming up in there talking about you about to run this. And I get not wanting to be Kat, because Kat was off the chain. Kat was on some, like, thought she was in The Devil Wears Prada, and she was Meryl Streep. Like, she was on that Miranda Priestley, like, get me my latte, like, half foam at 98.24 degrees. Like, she was doing the most every time she walked in that office. So I get, you're different. Jimmy's never going to be that person that comes in and is like, I need 80 pages on my desk ASAP. Like, he's not going to be that person. By the way, nobody in journalism is writing 80 pages. That was an over-exaggeration. But he was definitely not running that meeting with the force that he should have been running that meeting. So I get why Snapper stepped to him.
Mm-hmm. I get it. And honestly, it didn't, believe it or not, it did not bother me that Snapper did what he did, because that is who Snapper is. It didn't bother me that Jimmy was hesitant. What was pissing me off was people were like, okay, yeah, we're going to follow the white man's orders. I'm like, if y'all don't, and no one even stopped to look at Jimmy like to get a head nod that this was okay. That's what kind of made me mad.
Yeah. Technically, Ian Gomez is Latino.
Sorry. Sorry, Ian. Sorry.
But that's what bothered me. And then also, what bothered me was that then you have the end where Jimmy he flips it back, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't feel like they're giving him the stuff so that we see the development. I like that him and Kara had that moment where she gave him like the pep talk speech, and told him he needs to get in there and be different. But I don't know. I just feel like Jimmy is getting shortchanged this season, and it really hurts my heart. Like, I want him to have something weighty. And I don't want it to involve Kara, because I'm still mad at how she broke up with him. But I want his journey to have some weight as well. And it doesn't feel like they're quite there yet. And and I'm comparing it to the Mon-El thing, because I think they've done a good job of introducing him and giving his story weight without him having a lot of screen time. And I just want the same for Jimmy.
Me too, but I think this is one of the downfalls. I think what they're doing is they're biding their time until they do whatever they plan to do with Jimmy based on what I saw. But I'm like, either don't have him there at all, but don't do this filler stuff. We did all the filler BS on CBS. Let's not do this here. Let's plant the seeds for what you have in mind for him here. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. I was really, really happy that he stood up to him in the end, though. Because I was like, I can't believe Jimmy was going to let him punk him.
Girl, he called that bluff like, get to stepping it. I was like, yes.
I was like, he needs something, because the way Homeboy came at him, I was like, you just gonna let him talk to you like that in front of people? Like, especially big old Makai Brooks out here. I'm like, you gonna let this little man talk to you like that?
Right.
No. We are not doing this. Like not on a Monday. We are not doing this. Like, I was upset for him. And Snapper just I can't tell. I'm hoping we'll find out that, like, Kat told him to just, like, keep testing them and keep pushing them. Because I'm just like, I don't even understand. Like, does he have a Pulitzer somewhere we don't know about?
Well, yeah.
He does?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Like, why?
Is it? Yeah. Kara mentions it in the first episode that he had a Pulitzer, and that's why she was so excited to work with him.
Okay, well, I guess. I'm like, child, I guess. You can't just be talking to me any old way, Pulitzer or not.
Well, I'm hoping that's not the case, that she told him to push them like that, because that would just be so trite. I don't want to.
But
no.
Supergirl, you know how they do.
You know how
they do. They saved the world last season with the power of their love.
Look, what that was CBS's bullshit. We like to pretend that didn't happen. The only episode that happened last season was World's Finest, the crossover. That's it. That's it. That's all we claiming. Okay, before we get to the what I feel is the greatest part of the episode, and you can fight me if you want to, I've just got to talk about two things that bug me real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The first is the convenience that was Kara's ability to use her heat vision to magically disable a very specific part of Lena Luthor's alien detector. I'm calling shenanigans.
I thought she just, yeah. So when she first like zapped it, I thought that she just disabled it. I thought it was just gonna like be like she was gonna touch it and it was gonna be like, oh, like it's not working. What happened? And it was gonna be like, oh, these it's defective. So it was weird to me, yeah, when it came back like green. I was like, how do you know exactly what to disable or what to change or where exactly to hit it? I thought she was just gonna like burn it so that it wouldn't work anymore.
And since when has heat vision been that precise?
I wasn't sure if like she hit it. I have no idea how that works. Also, Kara's not a scientist; she's a
Thank you.
reporter, so I wouldn't know how she would know what to disable or what to change.
Yeah, exactly. So that bugged me. The
Yeah.
other thing that bugged me, and I asked in the group, so maybe you can answer it for me, because I was cursing. When Kara leaves the DEO while writing her article and switches immediately into her costume in the middle of the floor, I was like, okay, so when the hell did everybody find out or she be okay with them knowing that she was Kara Danvers who works at Catco? When did that happen? Did I miss that?
I have no idea. It was like, take your daughter to work day. Like she was just sitting at a DEO computer, like working on her article as if
Doing
she,
homework.
yeah, like as if
And
she don't
then,
have a laptop or something. I don't know.
yeah, so when did they find out that she was a part, that she was, I just don't get it. That just made no sense.
Yeah, it was. I
And it
feel
took a
like
few seconds.
it's they want her to be able to hang out with Win, like, or she wants to be able to hang out with Win. Um, but it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense that she would be like sitting in the DEO, like working, like as Kara, working on a article or whatever she was doing.
Made no sense. It just bugged me because at first it took a minute for me to register that she was sitting at the DEO working on this article. And then it was like, wait, she's sitting at the DEO working on this article. And then she just takes off her clothes and I'm like, but no one knew who she was.
Well, to me, it was the same way. They really need to establish these hard and fast things that they never do. Like somebody needs to be on it. I don't know if it's like a script supervisor or, just there needs to be somebody to be like, okay, no, can't do that. Because they did the same thing where Clark came and everybody was calling him Superman because there were other DEO people around. And then Alex walks up to him and calls him Clark. And it's like, no, there's a reason everybody's calling him Superman. And not
Right,
Clark. Like, you can call him Clark privately. You cannot call him Clark in front of everybody.
right. That's like
Yeah.
using a nickname at work. Like, hey, Peanut. Like, what? No, my name, that's not my name at work. We don't do that. So
Exactly.
that, so that bugged me. Those two things really bugged me. I'm like, oh, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do
And
this.
like we said, like they're simple fixes. It's like you don't have her, like she's on somebody needs to be on like she's only ever at the DEO in her Supergirl costume, never in regular and never in plain clothes.
Hmm.
And just like little and with the device, it's like that should have just been, oh, it's disabled or oh, it's not working anymore. What's going on? Not
Hmm.
not now it's giving out a different readout because Kara wouldn't know how to do that. So it's like little things like that where I feel like they're quibbles, they're minor, but also somebody should be on that, either via the writer's room or somebody on set should be like, no, that, like even like a costume designer, like that's,
Like it's a continuity error.
yeah,
The person who checks for continuity errors should have caught that.
but not just that, like the thing that's so great about any film type thing, whether it be a movie or TV, is it's very collaborative. So it's like, there's too many hands on it along the way for somebody to not have noticed that. And if somebody did notice it and they said like, oh, well, people will never notice, guess what? We do notice. Like we do. I don't think we notice just because we watch it closely to talk about it, but I think we just also notice those things because when that happened with the device, I didn't go like, that didn't, like I didn't get like super upset about it, but I did go like, that's weird. Like I thought it was just going to be disabled.
Well, and I didn't get upset about the device. I
Yeah.
did get upset about her walking out the DEO, revealing her Supergirl costume.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, why was she even there to begin with? That
Mm-hmm.
made no sense. Because even if she's just there visiting her sister, which would never happen if you work for a government entity, you don't just get to visit your sister at the top secret government entity location. Then on top of that, she's working on her homework on a computer. It's just, it was,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
honestly think that's because they want her to be able to interact with Wynn the way she was able to interact with him at Catco, which is fine. It's just that she should be doing it as Supergirl and not as Kara.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if she was Supergirl sitting at that computer doing Kara's homework, that would have been fine, but she shouldn't have been sitting there as Kara. I feel like, are we missing anything else that I really wanted to talk about?
Well, there was one thing I wanted to talk
Okay.
about before we talk about the cameo. And that was Lena. It's funny because Lena is trying to not be her brother, but she's being her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just putting perfume on the sink that was the same kind of logic her brother was walking around doing. And I think that's probably going to come into play later on in this season.
Yeah. I also, I like that Snapper called Kara on her bias in the article that she wrote about Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though it is very clear that like what Lena is doing is wrong, if you are going to be a reporter, you do have to be somewhat objective. I don't agree with that whole like, you have to show both sides, because obviously not at all times are all sides equal,
Mm-hmm.
but she was definitely writing that like she was writing an opinion piece or a think piece rather than reporting the news. So I agreed with him on that one.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah.
It was one time this episode he was
Yeah.
right.
And I like too with Lena, like, I, even though I think she has a bias that she's not admitting to herself, um, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Luthers, they are about money. So
Yeah.
she was like, she's like, this is also going to make us money because people are afraid of aliens. She was like, period, point blank, we about to come up off this device because people are afraid of aliens. So,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not mad. She knows how to make her coins. I'm not mad at her. Um, and yes, so the cameo, Linda Carter, Wonder
Okay.
Woman.
Okay, so can I Okay, I am a heterosexual woman. But let me tell you something. If Linda came and asked me to risk it all, I'd do it no questions asked. I have loved that woman since she was Wonder Woman. And I think it was because for me as a child, she was my first true live action consistent introduction to a female superhero. And even though it was a 70s show, she was a superhero in a way that wasn't a 70s way. She was strong, but she was graceful and intelligent. And so she has just been my woman crush forever. I loved her cameo. I loved the little shout out to her other jet. I love how they had Kara do the Wonder Woman twirl to put out the fire. But deeper than that, that end reveal, I was like, oh my God, what does this mean? What are we doing this season? What is happening?
I thought it was really cute.
But
Her little references to Wonder Woman, you know, the jet reference. I thought that was really really cute. I think Linda Carter, her, to be, I don't even know what age she is.
she's in her
Um,
60s.
but yeah, she looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm Spanx to high heaven, because she's just, everything is just like sitting exactly in its place, and I'm sure just the foundation garments are beyond. She looks amazing, and this weekend too was like this whole year has been like the Wonder Woman 75th anniversary. So I know she's been doing stuff with Gal Gadot, in terms of like promoting Wonder Woman and the new films and all that other stuff. So I love seeing her. We talked about, I love the nods to all the classic DC stuff, all the past Supermans, all, you know. So I love all of this. What I was really really surprised by was, I thought this was a one-off, and they've
Mm-hmm.
clearly set her up to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so surprised by that. I was like, oh, I was impressed that they even got Linda Carter for a one-off, but to
Right.
realize that this is obviously something that's going to be ongoing, I'm really excited.
I know. And my whole thing is, okay, so, and it begs all these questions. So has the president been an alien all this time, or did an alien arrive and assume the president's form? And if that's the case, you know, where's the real president? And obviously they have 4 and 8 year terms. So was Linda the president and then the alien came and she stashed somewhere? What happened? Or did this alien assume this form and run for president? I'm just like, what happened? How did we get here?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're here and I'm excited about what it means, but I'm just like, oh, I've got so many questions.
Yeah,
Got so many questions.
I'm my I wondered. So when she first like walks away, and I was like, ooh, she's going to be an alien. Um,
Really?
yeah, like the minute she started walking away, I was like, we're just lingering on her for too long. The smile is too, slightly evil. So I knew she was going to be an alien. I thought it was going to be the one we saw in the bar whose eyes flipped. I thought it was going to be
Mm.
that one. So I thought we were going to find out that like she had taken over the president's body or whatever. Just because we got such a clear shot of that alien in the bar,
Mm-hmm.
that like I thought, oh, like she'll show up again. Um, I right now am of the mind that a alien took over her identity while she was there in National City for the signing.
I could see that, but so do you think it happened? But no, it doesn't make, okay, I get that. But then part of me wonders if she hasn't been an alien all along, because otherwise, why push so hard for this alien amnesty thing? Like, if you're an alien who is, let's say this alien clearly wants amnesty and revelation for aliens. But if you're someone, say, that isn't so much for that, wouldn't you take it over and then kind of denounce the alien amnesty thing?
Well, I'm wondering if she proposed it herself as like a human, just,
Mm-hmm.
being someone who like recognizes that this is an issue and we have to get out in front of it, and, and make some peace with these aliens. And I could see an alien still wanting it to happen, but wanting to be in control of it. So then
Yeah, that makes
assuming her
sense.
identity,
Mm-hmm.
just because, I mean, you might still want it to happen because that also helps your position as being the person who has access to all of that data.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
I'm just wondering. And so now they've set up the situation where we have two kind of big bads for the season.
Mm-hmm.
We have whoever this alien is that's taken over the president's body, and then we have Cadmus still out there. And what's so interesting about the Cadmus thing, and I'm hoping we get more into it because I did some reading on it, is this is the whole reason, like, Cadmus and that scientist, their whole thing is like aliens are going to invade. Aliens are going to take over. Aliens are hiding in plain sight. Like, that's the fear. So to have like those two things where you have like this scientist whose whole thing is that being afraid of aliens attacking, and we have to be prepared for them to try and take over, and then have the president be an alien, like
Mm-hmm.
their biggest fear is actually happening. That's going to be really interesting because either way, Supergirl is going to be stuck in the middle. Because you
Mm-hmm.
know what's going to happen is that Supergirl is going to find out that the president is an alien, and then it's going to be like, well, do you let people know that the president has been an alien this whole time and
Mm-hmm.
stoke that fear?
And that's
Or,
even if you know that, because it goes
yeah,
back again. How long has she been president?
yeah,
And when has she always been an alien? Or is this a new development?
yeah. Because we already went through that with John Jones in the DEO, with everybody finding out that John Jones was an alien, and that threw the DEO in like disarray. Like, on a national scale, to have that happen is going to be even crazier. And by the way, they have not even given us a throwaway line about why Lucy is not in charge of the DEO.
Or
Like,
where the hell Max Lord is?
yeah, they have not given us a throwaway line. I just, like, that was the whole point of where we ended last season, was that Alex and John were supposed to go looking for Dad, and Lucy took over. And they haven't even given us a, like, Lucy's in Washington talking to the president. Like, they've given us nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did homegirl, did Jenna do something? Like, because I don't remember there
She
being
had
any announcement that she was leaving either.
no, and okay, and so my thing is acting funky. I was trying to look it up, but my phone is acting funky and I can't get to a screen, so I got to figure what that means later. But yeah, yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, like, I just, this feels very, like, I don't know. Like, they clearly, because that was one of the things that we praised them about in the beginning of this season. In the first episode, was, it was like, oh, they really picked right up where they left off, and they rebooted without leaving any storyline behind. And I'm like, I guess they did leave a major storyline behind, because they haven't even given us a throwaway line about it. I just
Oh, and I just looked it up. The only credits she's listed in for Supergirl were the ones from last season.
yeah.
So I don't think we're getting it. Maybe they'll throw in a throwaway line later, but it's not there now. And
Now,
we
you know
already
what?
and hold
Oh,
on,
no, it's not.
hold on, hold on. We already know from the Flash that because they're on a different Earth, it's not like this has anything to do with anything buried in.
Yeah. No, it's nothing Flashpoint related. I was looking at the titles, and I thought the one title was the same as the one where, because Max Lord does come back. We saw that.
Looking, I'm not seeing anything for him beyond last season either.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw him listed in one, like, about mid-season, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Peter Facinelli's IMDb and Jenna's, and both of them have their last episode as the season finale of season one. So if they
Okay.
bring them back, it might not be those actors, or it might not be current versions of them.
Oh, okay. I'm really, really surprised. Okay, I guess just dropping some things.
Well, and let's be honest, I'm hoping, because I like Jenna, but I'm wondering if she got, when they looked at how to reboot and they thought about how ridiculous, because how Lucy came to be in charge was utterly ridiculous. Let's be honest. It was. How she came to be in charge was utterly ridiculous. So maybe they felt like there was just no way to redeem that. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I just say like at least throw a line in. Like
Oh no,
I'm
agreed,
yeah, like
agreed.
I'm just always like you gotta give us something. Just like we didn't forget she existed. A big part of why like Kara and Jimmy weren't together for most of the season was her. Like
Mm-hmm.
so you gotta give me something. But okay. I'm I'm totally just scrolling through IMDb right now, and I'm glad to see lots of mentions of Maggie Sawyer and Mon-El, and yeah, I'm really excited for that. I just really like both of these characters. I like their introduction, and I really like where they're going with it. I'm hoping McGann becomes more than just like a couple of episodes arc, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sharon Leal is just amazing. I love her. The last thing she was in was Recovery Road as the
Mm-hmm.
mom in that show, and she did an amazing job. That show should not have gotten canceled. But at least she's on Supergirl now. So what grade did you give this episode?
I gave it an A minus. Like I enjoyed everything about it, but like I said, those two pieces, the disabling of the alien detector and then Kara just busting out in full uniform in the middle of the DEO like she didn't have a secret identity, those were issues. I took issues with that. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I was on my third watching this morning. And I watched the episodes twice last season to take notes to prepare for the podcast. But this is the first season where I feel like I can rewatch these episodes over and over again because that's how much fun they are. The fight choreography is so much better. It is so much better than last season. And it works so well. And thank you, CW, for saving this show. That's all I got to say. This show saved its life. This channel saved its entire life. That's all I'm going to say.
I would probably give it. I'm gonna give it a B plus.
Okay.
I think it's really well done. I'm still docking Jimmy points until it gets better. Until I feel like homegirl in the color purple. Like until you do right by Jimmy, I can't.
Oh my Lord.
Um,
Stop, girl, stop.
I'm
Stop.
not never.
No,
I'm
don't do that.
never gonna stop. But yeah, but other than that, I really like how they're developing everybody else. Um, I'm gonna admit, it's. I feel like Kara's like Kara's not the reason I watch Supergirl, which is weird. I will acknowledge that since she is Supergirl, she should. It's not like the way like I really care about Barry on the Flash, so
Hmm.
I'm interested in his development as a character. Kara's probably not the person that I'm most eager to see each week. Like the development that I'm like really eager to see is like I love anything with Hank. I like Jimmy. I like I like the plot. I really enjoy like the adventures of Supergirl. But I'm not her character development doesn't necessarily excite me.
Yeah. I'm glad to see it though.
Yeah, I'm super happy that she seems to be like last episode when they really called her on being more adult and everything. I really appreciated it, but I'm gonna be very honest, like because it's always gonna be kind of cheesy. It's always gonna be very
Pixie girl dreamish. Pixie manic
yeah,
pixie.
Pixie Dream
What is that
Girl. Yeah,
thing?
Manic Pixie
Manic.
Dream. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's it's very much like and then Kara learns that she needs to like I just feel like the lessons that she learns are very trite. Whereas
Mm.
I feel like the other characters are really like developing as like they're learning lessons, but I don't feel like here's the lesson so and so learned this week. Where with Kara it feels that way. It's like you can write a sentence about if somebody had to ask you what lesson did Kara learn this week, you could be like, this week Kara learned like as if you're doing like a book report, whereas the other characters development feels very organic.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. So
No, I'd agree with
I'm
that.
just not necessarily here for her, but I love her adventures. I love to see like who's she gonna like fight, and like what aliens are gonna show up, and I'm very excited for her adventures. I'm just not excited for her personal growth.
And what I will say is this, it's interesting because I think the show is starting to pick up on that. So we talked about it before we started recording, but that, and people are starting to respond to her in kind. So the way Snapper's responding to her flightiness and her, oh, I'm so cute, so you should just let me do what I want. And he's like, that's not how the real world works. And then in this episode, when she's so excited about meeting the president, and Hank's trying to be cordial, like, well, she's lucky to meet you. And she's like, oh, should I get a blowout? And he's like, oh, what the hell? Do I care about these things? And just walks away. So I feel like they're kind of writing it a little tongue in cheek, where even the characters are acknowledging that Kara's a bit much. She's a bit much.
Yeah, she does a lot. She does the most. And I'm just like, I don't know, girl. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I would give it a solid B plus. I for the things that I like, I really, really, really like it.
Yeah.
And I love the new characters. I just really do.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for the season.
Yeah. If they continue like this, I'll be straight. Just keep it solid, keep it consistent. That's all I care about. All right. I don't think we got any emails. I didn't see any
Me either.
this week, but thank you guys for listening. Thank you for commenting on the Facebook page. Thank you for interacting via Twitter. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys. And we hope that you're enjoying the show. I know some people are not here for it, and I'm fine. I know some people are just waiting for the crossovers, and that's fine. But I'm really enjoying it, and I hope
Me
that other
too.
people are enjoying it too.
Yeah, there are people that are really enjoying it, and then there's some that are just like, I'm like, okay, just go be We'll have fun over here.
But we'll see you next week. Hopefully next week we'll get this out a little bit sooner. This week was kind of hectic for both of our schedules. But you guys got a new character corner. You're fine. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.